Very good morning, student friends. Under molecular symmetry and group theory, in today's talk, I am going to cover the three important symmetry elements. First is the center of symmetry. The second one is the improper axis of symmetry, and last one is the identity. So, the center of symmetry, symbolically, it is represented by small letter I. The center of symmetry is simply defined as imaginary point lie at the center of molecule through which inversion of each atom or through which inversion is to be performed in a molecule for getting the equivalent orientation from original orientation of a molecule. If you are getting the same equivalent orientation through a single particular imaginary point after inversion, then the point is said to be the point of symmetry, or it is also called as center of the symmetry. So best example is that, okay, if you're going to consider CO2 uh, as the center of inversion, water molecule, the CO2 is just okay. So the center is here, and along this center, if you are going to invert the molecule, this is option number one, option number two. After inversion, this shifted to here, this shifted to here. Okay. Mm, okay. Or if you are going to see, okay, the center of symmetry is also defined as from a particular point, the like groups lie at the equidistance. Means here, and if these two atoms or groups lie at the opposite to each other. So here, from this, if this the point lie at the center of molecule, and if you are going to see these two ends, here, this one end for oxygen and this is for another. These two are lie at the 180 as well as both are equidistant with respect to this the point. Then this point is said to be the center of symmetry or point of the symmetry. So this CO2 possesses the center of symmetry. This Cl2 or any homodiatomic the molecules have the center of inversion. So PtCl4 2 minus possessing the center of inversion. If one of these Cl is substituted by the fluorine, then overall symmetry is to be disturbed. So in such case, there is no any the center of the inversion. If you are going for the octadal Fe F6, okay, 3 minus. So definitely this molecule possessing the center of inversion. Then the molecule like okay, HgCl or AgCl or CO, all these molecules do not have the center of inversion. Then molecule like okay, the AB2 inverted V shape like water molecule or H2S or H2SE or the AB3 molecule having either any geometry, either a trigonal pyramid or trigonal planar, all such molecules do not have the center of the inversion, center of symmetry. Then if you are going to consider the example of the ortho disubstitute, mean ortho dichloro benzene molecule or beta dichlorobenzene molecule. So these molecules do not have the center of inversion. But if you are going for its okay, para isomer, so para dichlorobenzene molecule possesses the center of inversion. So these are the okay, few molecules have the center of the inversion. Then next is the rotational reflection axis of symmetry. It is also called as improper axis of symmetry, and symbolically it is represented by letter Sn raised to m. Yes, capital S reverse for improper axis of the symmetry. So, okay, name suggests that. So, as per the name, one can say that there are two operations needed in this improper axis of symmetry. One is rotation, another is the reflection. And if there are two operations, then as according to these two operations, we want to consider the two elements. One is the axis, another is the plane. So basically, in this improper axis of symmetry, we want to operate the two operations. One is rotation, another is the reflection. So the improper axis of symmetry is simply defined as the imaginary axis within a molecule. Okay, imaginary axis within a molecule through which the rotation is to be carried out at specific angle theta for getting the new orientation. This new orientation is okay, neither equivalent nor identical with respect to this one, with respect to the original orientation. If you are going to see this one, trans dichloroethene molecule, and if you are going to see this imagined axis, and if I am performing the rotation along this at 180 degree, then I am getting okay. This is, let us see, H1 HCl1. This is okay, Cl2 H2. So what happens? So if I am going to perform the rotation, this Cl1 shifted to here. So this Cl1 H1 is coming here. Same. Cl2 is coming here. H2 is going here. So here H2 is going here. Cl2 is coming here. So okay, this new orientation, overall framework is same, but okay, if I'm going to see the here at the position of H1 there is Cl1. At the position of Cl1 there is H1. So one can easily distinguish. So this is neither equivalent nor identical. So then again, on this new orientation, you want to perform the reflection, second operation, and that second operation is reflection. But that performed through a plane in such a way that the axis and the plane both are perpendicular. This is one important condition, that here reflected in a plane perpendicular to the principal axis. So here, if the axis is horizontal, the plane is vertical. If axis is vertical, plane should be horizontal. Then if you are on this, if you are reflecting a molecule through this plane, then I am getting this orientation. This is equivalent to the first one. You see. So if I am performing reflection, then what happens? This there is exchange between these two. So at the position of Cl1, this H2 is going. So here H2 is going here, Cl1 is going here, Cl2 is going here, and H1 is coming here. So here I am getting this new orientation. After the first is rotation, then reflection in such a way that both these elements are perpendicular to each other. So if this, if you consider this one, this third orientation is equivalent to the first one. So basically, improper axisymmetry in this, there are the two operations, and it is generated by rotating the molecule at specific angle theta and reflected in a plane perpendicular to the principal axis of symmetry. So because of this one, this is the one example, trans dichloroethene molecule has two-fold axis of symmetry. Why two-fold? Because at 180 we are getting the 180, and after that the reflection, we are getting the equivalent orientation. So the symbolically it is represented S2 fold axis of symmetry. S means improper axis of symmetry, and C means proper axis of symmetry. So symbolically it is represented by letter Sn raised to m, Sn raised to m, and this Sn raised to m is to be written in terms of C and sigma as Cn raised to m into sigma raised to m. So this is again one example. Trans dichloroethene molecule has S2 fold of the symmetry. Then last symmetry element is the identity. So identity element means element which brings original orientation of a molecule, called as identity. Means you know that there are already we have discussed about the proper axis of symmetry, then the plane of symmetry, then center of inversion, and then improper axis of symmetry. So if you are going to see water molecule, if you are performing 2 times two-fold axis of symmetry on water, we are getting the original orientation of molecule. So because of the same, in case of Cn raised to n, when n is even number or an odd number, means C2 raised to 2, C3 raised to 3, C4 raised to 4. In all such cases, we are getting the original orientation of molecule, and because of the same, the Cn raised to n is equal to identity when n is even or the odd number. Then sigma raised to n is simply E when n is E1. Means let us consider if you are going to perform the reflection 2 times, or okay 4 times, or 6 times, or 10 times, any even number, 10 times, 100 times, 1000 times. So in all such cases, we are getting the original orientation of molecule, and that's why okay, uh, sigma raised to n is equal to E when n is even number, and simply sigma when n is odd. The same in case of center of inversion. If you are performing 2 times inversion, or 10 times inversion, or 1000 times inversion, we are getting the original orientation of molecule. So this is simply E, and in odd it is simply I. And in case of Sn raised to n is equal to E when n is even number. So in this even number, and for odd it is simply the sigma. Why? Just okay, one example. S3 raised to 3. One can write in terms of C and sigma as okay, C3 raised to 3 into sigma raised to 3. Then this C3 raised to 3, C3 raised to 3, it is simply E. And sigma raised to 3, it is simply sigma. So E into sigma as per the identity rule, when identity element multiplied with any another symmetry element, we are getting the multiplied element. So it is E into sigma, it is simply the sigma. So because of this, okay, Sn raised to n is equal to sigma when n is the odd. So with this, in this lecture, I have covered the center of symmetry, improper axis of symmetry, and last one is the identity. So with this, I conclude my lecture. Thank you so much.